Peter there with his Beverly Hillbillies look. I love the sheet of galv on the roof there.
Yes, I wouldn't suggest that was one of our rusting piles of junk, but under active restoration.
Uh-oh, more trouble, and it's the motorbikes.
How are you, all right?
What's the problem?
Electrical. Yeah, it seems to be the points of the condenser there. So what happened there? Bang, 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 stop, bang, bang, bang.
It's exactly the same brace we broke down last year. And we had to give up. Didn't want to go up the hill.
Well, fairly philosophical about it then, John.
You'd have to say reliable if it's broken down at the same place both times.
Heading up through the hills now. I think we've gone over the worst part. That steep climb there was probably the one that affects them the most. But from here on, fairly picturesque.
Very well. Very well. No problem, Jeff.
What sort of car is it?
It's 1911 Renault.
Well, you've got a downhill run, that should help.
Yeah, but no brakes.
It's a bit of a common problem with some of these older vehicles, the fact that they've got very little braking power.
Plenty of go, not a lot of stop.
Especially down those hills.
Well, that's no less a man than Ettore Bugatti said, I build my cars to go, not to stop.
And why would you want them to stop?
Yes.
Except for a red light, I suppose. And as we said, the road's all blocked off. People still lining the route right up through the hills here. It's a very pretty spot.
Oh, the country people turn out just like all the city folk, and they gather in points of advantage to see the cars go through. The Bay to Birdwood's a big event in the whole of South Australia.
Well, John, I'm afraid there's one who's not going to be making it there under his own power.
What a shame, but he's hell-bent on getting to Birdwood one way or the other.
That's right, it's taking a fair few to get it on the truck too, I might say. There's a couple of other classics coming through here. We're just up near Houghton in the Adelaide Hills. Very pretty through here. Just the leafy greenery. We've had lots of rain over the past few months in the Adelaide Hills. It's never looked better, I don't think.
And understandably, this is what people come miles and miles to drive, this lovely route from the bay up to the Birdwood Motor Museum, the National Motor Museum, and enjoy the drive through the Adelaide Hills.
A little earlier we were just discussing the fact that people spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort on these vehicles. Could you give us some idea, do you think, of the sort of dollar value we're talking about here?
Oh, minimum $50,000, if not in actual money spent, then certainly in time spent, because a lot of these fellows do the restoration and the repainting themselves rather than putting it out to a professional paint shop. So a lot of it is personal time spent, and I guess it's a labour of love.
Happy couple on a motorbike.
Have a look at this.
He's not too worried. A bit of steam coming out of the radiator, but he's intent on getting there. Beautiful old, was it a Ford T?
Ford Model T, yes.
Let's just enjoy some of the scenery now, because there's a beautiful spot through the Adelaide Hills as we're getting closer to Gummaraka. Let's let that scenery and the cars roll by. on. Some of those earlier vehicles that left, the Packards particularly, I imagine would be almost at Birdwood now, but what I think we might do is just go back a little bit. We've got cameras all over the place today, so I think we should just go back a little bit and see how some of the other vehicles are getting on here.
Remembering there's 1,500 cars or vehicles in total in the run, and some of them perhaps are just leaving West Beach. It takes them 2 hours, even in an orderly procession, to pass one point. So the first of them, as you say, are almost to Birdwood, and the last of them are just leaving the end of Anzac Highway.
Well, they're going to be pretty thirsty by the time they get there.
Well, they've been having a drink while they've been waiting.
Not the driver, I hope.
Not the driver. Designated driver.